Okay, like I said, I got all of the very aft sections, pieces cut, and I start at the back because the back all the way up to here, you need 28 of each pieces, but from here forward, you need 28 plus another 26 pieces for each airplane, for both wings. And just an example of how accurate this has to be. One of these is good and the other one is not. One of them's too short. You can barely tell. It's probably less than a 32nd of an inch. Oh, definitely less than 30. Probably 20 thousandths difference. But this one's way too loose. And this here's going to be my master. It's windy as heck out here, so I don't know how this is going to record. But we need 3.5 inches for this. So I'm going to move this stop over just shy, because we got to cut the angle after. We want to make sure we have enough for that angle. We're just going to be barely trimming off that angle. Let's see. Don't want too much stock. As it is, this little piece right here, we're going to need over 90 inches, and this is just for the 28 pieces per airplane. This is just the 28 pieces. We're going to need 90 some inches. It'll come out to about 90 some inches. Okay. So, yep. That way we're just going to trim that angle whenever we flip it back around, and we'll put the stop on the, we'll use the stop on this side and put it in there. And then it'll just barely be wiping that there off. So, guess I better go get my stock. Now I can use this geodetic, which looks pretty nice, all the way up to here. It gets this real dark, coarse grain. And I discovered that on inspecting, you got to find out on your glue up tests, if one of them fails, you got to figure out why it failed. You don't want anything failing on your aircraft while you're 1,500 feet in the air. So anyways, I had to figure out, and I had inadvertently gotten a block of wood that had this dark, real coarse grain, and that's the one that had broken, that real coarse grained block. And the first thing you do, very first cut, you verify that you haven't cut them too short or anything. You don't want to spend all the time cutting 28 junk pieces. So anytime you're running any kind of production, always verify the first piece, and periodically. And once again, after your first cut, verify they're perfect, and then go ahead and do the run. Alright, it's getting way too windy outside. I did get these are the rear spar guides on the back part of the wing rib. Go across here. And I got them all done. One of the reasons I'm timing all of this, including preparation for it, carrying the saw outside, measuring up the wood, making sure I've got enough out there to all of that, because just in the time it took me to do this morning, I normally could have made 3 ribs in that time, just by cutting them one at a time and fitting them perfectly. So, and I know I can build a rib in 20 minutes. I probably averaged 25 minutes maybe. They're very consistent. So I'm gonna see how long it takes me to do all this prep work, and then see how much it saves me. Well, the sun's pretty bright over on my rudder area, but I wanted to point out that all of the ribs for the rudder, and those are 1/4 inch, so they're fairly thick, and they're 1.25 inches, all stacked up and not relieved yet to the trailing edge. They all add up to 11 ounces, 11.9 ounces, and I all these lightning holes brought it down to 10.8 ounces. That doesn't sound like much, but you find people continuously trying to beef their airplane up and adding more than what the prescribed instructions say for strength, and then they have an airplane that can barely take off and barely fly. Don't ever try to, well, avoid trying to beef stuff up. It's a real difficult thing to resist, but avoid it. Everything about flying and aviation is being able to overcome gravity. So an ounce here and an ounce there, it all adds up. And furthermore, it adds up, this adds up out at the tail. Your torque moment, your arm moment out at the tail is tremendous. Just a few ounces makes a big difference. 70, for my airplane, 74, 75 inches from the leading edge of the wing. That's a tremendous arm moment. So just ounces out here makes a difference. So if you add up ounces and it becomes pounds, or even 1 pound, there's a tremendous difference clear out at the tail.